We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. We're two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.
Hello and welcome back to the Sitting and Chatting podcast. I'm Whyte.
I'm Thayjamieallan.
I'm Ben.
Ben, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Coming all the way down from Dundee. Now, first question that we ask every guest: what's your first memory?
Could be here away.
I mean, getting up this morning.
That's your first memory ever.
I remember.
That's not what you asked, though. So what's your earliest memory?
Sorry,
Earliest memory.
Correct.
Fucking amateur here, Ben.
Don't know. I remember getting a toy plane one day, and I didn't remember this, but my cousin thinks this is the funniest thing. When I was a toddler, one day saw a cow pat. I slammed my hands into it and it went everywhere.
Up to my knees and cow pat.
I was a fucking toddler. Big
Well,
fucking cows.
Aye. You didn't get chocolate, didn't you?
No.
Go for a wee scram.
No, that is a good story. My wee cousin. He had a wee.
You just baiting your cousin wandering into the podcast.
No, that was my older cousin. This is my younger cousin.
The other cousin.
He had a wee bag of Maltesers, and we're cutting about Kings Park in Stirling. Visit Stirling.
That's great advertising.
A rabbit had clearly had some big guffy shits,
Oh dear.
and he spilt Maltesers on the ground.
Oh,
Yes.
Let's just say he ended up with more Maltesers, but he did eat them all.
Trying we can get a sponsorship if I title this Girthy Shits.
From Kings Park and Maltesers.
I don't know how to work. But, well, I mean, that's a good memory, though, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it's a more entertaining one compared to most of the ones that we've had so far.
I rather enjoyed the Malteser shite story.
Oh.
It was a good one.
Cheers.
Aye, so Ben, Stirling, born and bred, am I right? Yeah. You've always been from Stirling. You've never lived anywhere previous.
I've not really asked my parents how they fucked, but I imagine so.
Well, right.
That's what born and bred means.
You remember?
Born and bred, aye.
Uh,
You didn't live in Glasgow or somewhere beforehand, have you? No, so always been in Stirling until
Aye.
recently, obviously. You went to school in Stirling as well. What was early school like for you?
like preschool.
Nursery, primary school, those kind of ages.
I don't have many memories. I always remember fucking stupid things like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, the classic.
We
The
didn't-
cards or the TV show.
The cards.
Yeah.
Everyone had it, but nobody knew how to play. And on the back of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, it's got this kind of like black hole looking thing. And if you ever put that down, all the fucking Mongol kids were like, "That's a black hole. That wins the game."
Well,
It's easy as fucking.
just sucks up all the other cards, so that's win automatically.
That's how you won.
I remember collecting the cards. Did you ever collect cards like Match Attacks or anything like that when you were a baby?
I used to get some Match Attacks, and I wouldn't say I was an avid collector. I was never into the Pokemon phase, or I didn't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is and all that shit. I was never into all that. But Match Attacks was the only one I ever had.
Do you remember there used to be this big annual of it was fucking football stickers. It's big book and you collected them every day
for
or
every
something.
players.
Aye.
Yeah, you tried to stick in.
What was that called again?
It was just a sticker book. Fuck it, Panini cards.
Panini cards. I done that as well. So I done that at Match Attacks. The Match Attacks was not so big one. I done the Panini.
I couldn't name a single footballer, but I did do that.
You could name a footballer.
Ronaldo, that's about it.
Right, well, there you go.
And Heskey because of Liam's video. It's
I
fucking great.
If you want to see some quality content, go and watch the Heskey video. I might just re-upload onto the Scribs channel just to get a new views.
Just play it right now.
Fuck it. Do you know what? I'm going to if I remember to edit this properly, I'll put the Heskey video up now for folks to see.
Just edit him. He's got skill.
He's got skills. He's got experience. And he's a genius. You want to know who it is, right? Please welcome our man, Emil Heskey.
I didn't even know that
when I was 12 and I got my first laptop, you know, being the big avid KSI fan I was back in the day, I was like going the big Heskey meme, you know.
Did you copy his Beast videos and that?
No, not really.
You did make a Get Hyper video.
I did make a Get Hyper video. When
Fucking hell, you're
12.
outing him here, by the way.
12 one.
We're now going to insert that video.
This is Mr.
That one
RDR
I can't, 'cause it'll be
Productions.
copyrighted. At least the first one we won't be copyrighted. But no, so it's just like I only had like a fucking very basic Windows 7 computer with Windows Live Movie Maker on it, and every sentence, because to be fair, I still work like this today. Whenever I'm reading a script or anything like that, I can always say like a sentence or two at a time before I'll forget it or I'll stumble my words. So every sentence I say in it, you always hear the click of like the mouse to like stop the recording. So like, he's got skills. He's got skills. Just every time.
There's a whole bit where he says he's got ball control, and then the audio cuts out for a fade in text says, haha, he likes balls.
I was a funny bear back in the day, what can I say? Some say I make better content then than I do now.
I wouldn't argue.
KSI owes his fortune to you. That's what you're saying.
I fucking wish I could get some of that
Nah,
fortune.
just 10% of it, you know what I mean?
I'd take 1% of it. But yeah, so like, how do you describe yourself at school? What sort of person were you?
Mongo.
Were you one of the kids that played the black hole card, aye?
Do you know what you said, mate? That's how much I'm Mongo at.
Were you one of the kids that played the black hole card?
When
On
did
Yu-Gi-Oh?
you know?
Aye. That was fucking nursery.
Oh, were you
Never,
collecting them as early as that? I don't think I was. I'm trying to remember. how
never
old I was when I
took
was-
education seriously till like the last 4 years.
I mean, to be fair, that's sort of when you're meant to try, isn't it?
Aye. Should
Oh,
have
is
tried
it?
a bit earlier.
Somebody could have told me.
Aye. Sorry, mate.
Nah.
Somebody could have fucking told me that one. I missed that fucking memo. Fuck's sake.
No, like, did you enjoy school then much, or not really? Or?
No got many memories of primary school with that. High school, bit shit at first because it's a lot more. It's more strict than primary school. At least I remember that way. But last year's of high school, fucking banter. Never got anything done though. Just hang out with cunts and
Ruin your life, all goes away.
it was all worth it for the Michael Carrick thing and the volcanoes.
Billy and poor wee Chris Laird every single day.
I deserve to be bellied that cunt.
So we get him on the podcast.
Can we,
and
can we,
about
can we say in the
fuck that,
podcast
why
he's an
not?
alleged pedophile?
how many people have you baited out in the first 7 minutes?
We'll edit that out if you don't want
No, I'll stay in. I doubt seriously that Chris is going to listen to
I
this.
didn't allege it. Other people have.
Right, good saying yourself.
Oh, I'm definitely sending him a clip of this. Chris, look, pedophile.
Have you ever even mentioned before? You're just going to send him that as your first message ever here.
Nah,
Notice 7 minutes 10.
I don't know if I've ever messaged him. He is my cousin's cousin.
Is it?
My
Wait.
Chris Laird.
Yeah, no, like, who's
Oh.
your cousin?
But you'll know that. But her name's Claire.
No,
But,
fair enough. What was I going to say? To be fair, he has actually improved since high school. I've heard from people saying
In
that.
what manner?
17-year-olds now.
No, he's gone out as a 21-year-old now.
Oh, that's a well we go that.
I think 17-year-olds are like nicotine patches for pedos. Like easing them in.
Oh,
Wait,
that's,
so
such,
wait, so-
that's such a good cut right there.
What do you mean he's improved?
Like, he,
As a human being, he's improved. He's less
Aye.
less like a golf and all that. Is that what you mean?
I think he's still at golf, so I mean, you know, you can't improve that. But I
Nah,
mean,
he's not improved at all, man.
I was in college, walking back, I think it was 2 years ago now. Aye, because last year was in Falkirk. And cunt's still at the skate park.
Aye, like, that's what I mean. That's no improvements. That's deteriorating.
I mean, improvements are a general person, you know, like he will only like scream at you 24/7,
Ah, okay.
like that kind of improvement. You know, it's wee steps, but you know, it's all you can ask for at this point.
We're going to need a lot of content if you ever want Chris on this, because this is all getting
No,
cut.
no,
I don't like Chris on this.
That's the first time you ever said no to the thought of a
Aye.
guest.
No. I don't like talking about skateboards and golf or
Did
Skateboard
you hear about
podcast.
the Michael Carrick thing?
no.
James Letford was on the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, aye, we got it back.
I'll give him credit. James Letford one day turns around to Chris in
Really
the 6th year We all bullied him. We're all guilty of that.
Deservedly so, by the way. So for anybody wanting to, you know, go on an anti-bullying parade, it's fuck off. He deserves it. He deserves it. 1000%. Anyway, carry on.
He told him one day, Chris, Michael Carrick's coming for you.
As in Manchester United's Michael Carrick.
Chris didn't know this. He went, fuck off. Because obviously if anyone tells you somebody's coming to kill you, you think, shut up. You're just pissing about. Then later on he's like, who's Michael Carrick? Why is he after me? Like, oh Chris, he'll find you. So for about 3 months until he figured it out.
Yeah, just
that'd be the first thing I would do. Is good. This is what I mean. This is why he deserves the billion. Like the first thing I would do would be like if I didn't know what Michael Carrick was a professional football player, I would Google Michael Carrick at the very last.
I would Facebook it probably if it's going to be like if they're saying someone's coming for me.
So I'd Facebook it, couldn't find that anybody sensible and reasonable to come and kill me. I'd be like, you know what, I'm lost. And then if they kept saying it, I'd be like, well, I'm going to fucking Google it. And then you would see it and then you'd be like, he's at the wind up. Deserves a billion.
Yeah, they're still the best, aren't they? The best demonstration of his intelligence, I think, was in that class, the Michael Carrick class. We got given like this.
That's what the class was on.
We got given like an exam, like a mock test paper, right? And basically we were told to, if I remember right, it was to like calculate the square, like we were given like a square area, say like it was like 250 square miles or whatever, right? And we were told to calculate how many tigers are in like this area, right? Bear in mind it's like 250 square miles, it's a huge area. And Chris got to the conclusion that it was 0.2 tigers. There was a toe of a tiger in each area.
Deserves a billion. I'm not going to say it again.
My older cousin always thought this was funny about the cowpat thing.
We've gone back.
Right, no, I wasn't sentient enough back then. I was like a fucking amoeba crawling about to realise what I was doing. But on the Michael Carrick thing, when my older cousin first went to high school, he told me that some guy went up to him and went, Joe King is going to kill you. He's like coming for you. Obviously, it's the word fucking Joe King. But he told me, he thought it was some kind of African warlord coming to kill him.
Joe King.
Aye, Joe King.
Joe King does not sound African. I wouldn't go down that route instantly. Were you this much my mum go to high school, Jim?
No. It'd be fair, I think I kept myself at high school. So
No many death threats?
None.
No footballers coming for you?
Nah. I did fun with you though. Nothing like that.
No, so like, you know, going through primary school through to high school as well, you've kept yourself relatively close with similar groups of mates like Lewis and Stroon and that. Who would you say during that time, like, obviously there's this big assumption that everyone like goes through massive changes going through like primary school to fuck off.
Burping into the mic.
Yeah, I could see that. Going through like primary to high school sort of thing. Do you notice that particularly with like those guys or like any of your other friends, like, or yourself even? Would there be a massive change like from primary 7 to like first or second year?
I don't think from like P7 to first and second year, but I think you change from primary school then to end of high school, because you usually come out of high school thinking, oh, I know fucking everything, and then late teens, early 20s you kind of change again.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. No, because I was going to say like personality wise and like
You've not improved.
No,
Oh, sorry, I thought that's what you were going to say.
I was going to say, like, I think like you're the one that stuck like closest to like your older self as such, because I didn't know you a great deal back in primary school days, but I knew you enough.
Right.
And I sort of think that you've kept yourself to your, like as close to like what you used to be like as much as possible.
What can you do?
Oh, what a shame! Can you ruin the audio even more?
But what primary school did you go to? Did you go to the same as Liam and stuff?
No, Campbell's Barn.
I was banned. What did you go?
St Onions.
Oh, you're a proper junkie, weren't you?
How dare you? How dare you? Posh school, that's what it is. It's for the poshest people, you know,
Aye,
like me.
Campbell's Barn Primary was a posh. That's the poshest at all.
Was it? Borston, maybe?
Right.
No, I knew someone who went to like fucking Dollar Academy.
Was Dollar Wait, has that got a primary?
Yeah,
Fucking
it
right.
does. It's got a primary Thursday side, yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Do you not want to wear a wee pink blazer whilst going to school
Nah,
every day?
if in the FK 7 or 9 postcode.
I didn't fucking choose. I was in primary school.
Yeah, but do you agree with his statement that it's the poshest one out of the lot?
No, Struden was hanging about the place.
Oh, fair point. Now you've totally changed my mind with that.
The shroom runs down the entire area.
Also, I don't want to call out any people. But,
yeah, I mean, you've been doing that for the first 15 minutes.
This is pretty bad.
Go on.
The kid who claimed that he was the sperm rolled around in the grass and then tried to fuck a tree.
You did. You did have some weird folk at that school, yeah, right?
He stood
unnamed.
Nobody outside the friend group would fucking get this. He stood over us because we convinced him that sperm was like lava or something in primary school.
How do you know what sperm was in primary school?
They fucking taught us.
Yeah, to be fair, sex ed was a thing in primary.
No, funny, but nah, I never got that.
We watched a whole thing of some guy like in my primary school, like just like this 20-year, well, probably not 20, maybe like 15 or 16-year-old guy gone to the swimming pool and try to fuck a lassie whilst they were in the swimming pool.
We watched the same video.
Oh, did you? So you must have been showing this thing as well at some point.
Nah, definitely it wasn't.
Anyway, we got taught this kind of near the end of primary school. He's standing over us, and to be like intimidating, like, you know, like a big fucking one-liner like Darth Vader, I am your father. He came out with, I am the sperm. Had me fucking roll. Yeah, but I had someone say that.
But I thought you were going to say I had me fucking water in there or something.
Is that your funniest memory then from like primary school kind of age?
In primary school,
Yeah.
probably. Struna has better memories with him because he convinced him that hamburgers were like fucking seeds. Like the seeds in a
I've
hamburger.
never seen a hamburger before.
No, like the seeds in a hamburger. He was saying like, oh, it's going to grow in your belly and you're like an alien. He was like, oh, I'm going to be pregnant.
Was this a guy American by chance?
No.
No,
What's
but
it-
he had a slight accent, shall we say.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah, his mum sounds Scottish as anything. Works up at the hairdresser.
It's like the thing of watching American TV. It's a way.
Oh, wait, do I know this guy?
You probably do.
Oh,
maybe.
We could just say the name and cut it out.
Yeah, true. Oh, maybe I will. Maybe.
oh, out the fucker, aye. Go.
Fun Hamill effort. Long hair, American accent, high school.
Oh, I do remember Flynn, aye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, always
Fucking
an odd
weirdo
dog.
bastard, aye.
Was it? Didn't he as well? Wasn't he when you went? To, well, it
He
wasn't
followed
doing
me to
it,
fucking college. James.
God, that sounds like a stalker
Well,
situation.
no,
that's
I've got a
the-
better story for that. James Craig, good lad. I leave that big awkward pause in as well.
Think about how good that is.
I made friends with him at high school, and he went to the same college as me. Not for the same course, but the same college, and so did Flynn. And one day, I think Flynn was in the cooking course, because if you're in the cooking in college, you sometimes like go in the kitchens during the lunch service.
Because I remember getting a fright one day because I was looking for like to get served one day, and I turned around for a side. I just went, "Hi, Liam," and I just turned around and he just fucking jumped up from behind the counter. I was like, "All right."
My only real experience with that is one day he said, like, I cook things in the kitchen now, do you, Flynn? I'm gonna poison. So, nice one.
I'm just going to
kidding.
avoid here
Anyway,
for a while.
Let's
So
just be
James-
crystal clear here. Has he actually got something on him?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever diagnosed or that.
No, okay.
I think it was one of those ones where like the parents probably should have.
Aye, just self-diagnosed, let's just call it that.
Harmless enough. Funny lad though.
Aye.
I say that.
Wait,
Fuck when he stalked you every
No.
day.
That was another cunt. James went into the bathroom. College bathroom, late at night. Well, kind of evening, winter. It's getting dark. Comes out the cubicle. Flynn's there. Hey, James. You never heard him come in or anything. He was just waiting for him. Said hello.
Sounds like a Friday the 13th sort of film, like just it was already to pounce and attack.
Wait, who was the wee guy that chased me down with a pencil in high school?
Ian Letman.
Oh, you've got a lot of
my
stories with
God.
him. Eh?
I mean,
Not a fan.
That wee bastard stabbed me with that pencil as well.
That
He
is
got
that is still one of the fucking funniest things. Just you flicking a gas tap. He's like, stop. No, and just kept flicking it as hard as you could and I stabbed you in the hand.
Fucking stab me with a
You
paper.
still have the mark, don't you?
Nah.
Oh, do you know? I thought you did still.
I don't know. I can't even mind it.
It was in your hand, wasn't it?
No, I just remember I remember it happening. That's fucking. I was mad at.
Well, because he joined my. Fuck's sake, keep telling my own. Okay, he joined a primary school in primary 6, and then with you and Lutman, same boy that jabbed you in the hand.
He had something wrong on the way.
Yeah, he's got Asperger's. Or, well, you don't call it that, just autism, I think, just that's what you might call it now.
Isn't Asperger's on the autism spectrum?
Yeah, but I think they just class it now, you're just messy, just autism basically. Like, we were writing down, we were doing like some sort of maths test or whatever, and he's like sitting next to me, and he looks over at my like answers, and he's like, that's wrong. I'm like, what? And you've wrote the wrong answer. Like,
That was nice.
it's just like, alright. It's like, man, you gotta change it. I'm like, well, no. It's like, why? No, 'cause I
It just
think
reminds you of Sheldon for fucking Big Bang Theory.
oh, you bet.
It's the most fucking cruel thing I've heard you say about someone all day.
That's literally.
I know, but I wouldn't want to be labelled fucking Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory.
No, but I'm not being funny, right? I'm pretty sure he does it in one episode where he goes, "We got it wrong. Well, aren't you going to change it?" And
You know, weird story. You know how they make a young Sheldon, like a younger. Kenny's a Falkirk fan.
Falkirk fan.
Just move on rapid. Move on now.
This is the first fucking Falkirk fan I've ever heard.
Poor Graham's crying. But yeah, no, anyway, so he's like, nah, change it. I'm like, well, no, because I think it's right. He's like, change it. And I'm like, no. And I go away to go and write, grabs my arm, and then just bites down as fucking hard as they can.
Oh, yeah, maybe you tell me that,
so, you know, obviously, it's like, what the fuck?
Aye, wait. What would you call that? I know he's autistic and stuff, but what's what is it's like OCD for the right answers, but is it what is that that's
Like high
causes-
function.
Yeah, there's a specific word for it, but I think you're just meant to call it autism now, I think.
I don't think there's qualified to be talking about autism this
Aye.
much.
I think
Yeah, no, considering none of us have been
They've
diagnosed
already
with it,
already
so-
brought up fucking Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Aye.
It's only going downhill.
pretty sure he is autistic as well.
He probably is.
Yeah. Right, then moving on to high school. Then you said you knew everything, or you thought you knew everything at first going up. Get a bit of a reality check. Were you that bothered then about doing well, especially at the start, or not really? No, not at all.
No, never even studied because it was quite shit. The only subject I was good at was English.
Really? The only subject you're good at was English.
Well, every other one I had to like study for and like really prepare. I knew people did like mock essays a bunch, and I did a few, but I got A's mostly for English. I think I got a B my last exam. That's still alright. It's still passing.
Just surprises me because obviously, you know, like, we'll get on to obviously.
I do have a proud moment of that though.
Oh, go on.
We're meant to be studying for the English exam. I don't remember
Was this in
everyone
fourth
was
year,
there.
or was this in like 4th year? Or
All I
whatever?
remember is the fucking details. I don't
Right.
remember the year. It was living in the moment. That's how you need to live your life. Strewn Lane. Some girls, some guys, all in the business class. Instead of studying, he brought up pregnant hentai, like videos, on his phone. And we all watched that instead of studying. Still got an A. Very proud of that moment.
There you go, that's proof. You don't need to study, kids. Just watch some pregnant hentai and that'll get you through school.
It never explains why he stays where he stays.
I ran a porn site with him in high school.
Oh yeah, go on, Joe, explain that then.
Ran a porn site with him.
No,
Did you just say you ran a porn site with him?
It wasn't much. It was just
It wasn't much.
Yeah, like how did you start it?
Shun had the idea, and he gave me like the login details, and we just kind of uploaded like pictures and shit. And
What
this
did you
is funny.
just make it on Squarespace or what? Like
No, Squarespace didn't exist back then. You had to do it from your own fucking blood, sweat, and tears and cum.
what? Did you code it yourself then?
No, Shun did that.
You gave him the difficult.
Right, basically, I gave him the name, and then he gave me some login details. That's the co-running part of it.
Can I get a name?
Is it still up?
I'll admit to the ones that you find, but Strewn was the main uploader of it. It's, Yes Folder.
Yes.
My yes, FOLDER. I don't know if it's still up though, because you probably have to pay for the domain.
Yeah.
It's probably
Why
bought it.
yes folder?
I suppose it's a bit unassuming. If like your parents walk in and you see you just hovering over like the cursor, they might think, like that's porn instantly.
I can't mind now, but I had no laptop, and I think the porn folder on that was just titled yes.
Just to like hide in case someone like.
But I'm not sure that was a porn folder or something else now. That's
It's
essentially
awful lot
the
to talk about porn.
I told you I'm an open book.
Oh no, I mean I'm happy to talk about porn. So there was no plans to go further with the porn. No, I'm never going to record it yourself. And
Not
upload
with
it.
Struan, no.
Shame as the cameraman.
There's like lots of like MILF hentai, and he's not really got the body for that. He's got a twink skeleton body.
It's a very good way of describing Struan. Yeah. That's one to add to Struan's many different weird explanations that he tried, or different stuff that he tried to do.
He's an
for years.
absolute lad. He's leaving a fucking for the history books legacy behind him.
He's trying to.
He's dabbled in everything. What a boy.
Apart from making a porn site, then in high school, what would you say is the weirdest or oddest thing that you've done, or is that does
Nah,
that top
that
it?
no, nothing can be top of that.
Nah, it didn't happen like in high school. That was just like during high school.
Is it okay? In high school, what's like the weirdest thing then?
Weirdest thing. Fuck, I don't know. Trying to think of something I've done, because I've been a fly on a wall for a lot of weird things, like the Polish kid coming up to me and talking about the Holocaust during an RE class. I've also been, it was during the exams, I was in a cubicle, and a guy was banging another cubicle and went, "Gary, come out! No! Why don't you pee out here?" And he was, "I'm afraid you'll see my willy," and laugh at it. I remember that very clearly. No much I did though.
And that was then added to the yes folder.
Oh! Right. There's this boy, very good boy. Buy his book. This podcast is sponsored by Oliver Simpson.
No, it's not.
And
No, it's
two
His podcast
summers-
does have a sponsor. Do not try and slander that.
2 Summers by Oliver Simpson. It's the best poetry book ever.
Did he make that in high school? He didn't make that in high school, did he?
No. But I used to sit behind him in English class, my good friend Oliver, and I had a bag of seeds. And I'd chuck seeds into his hair. The whole class.
He done this every single day. That we had English. Every single day that we had English.
I remember the last time I spoke to Oliver, it was at your.
But he deserved it back then, because he got the same seeds. What he do is pour them out into his palm and peck at them like a fucking bird. No, it's 6 years. Can't be putting up with this. You need seeds falling at your head.
You need a bit.
Oh,
As
no,
Jamie
fifth
said.
year.
As Jamie said earlier, you
Bullying.
bullied.
Bullying is a
It was the
necessity.
last time I seen him. I think it was at the Celtic Kangaroo. I want to say for a year when we were upstairs, mate.
My 21st.
Yeah. It's the last time I seen him.
Nah, Oliver's a good. I wish I talked to him more now in high school because now I've got to know him more. He's a sound guy.
Solid cunt.
Yeah, that's a good way of
What does he do now?
He's got a job in Glasgow.
I think it's funeral home. I'm not going to expose it because I'll probably read 2 Summers and then fire him.
Do you know about his poetry book that he made?
God, I could do a whole podcast and shit Oliver's done.
Yeah, do you know what? You've helped me now because now I know to get Oliver on as a guest.
Get him
I'm
on so he can
thinking
talk
it.
about. Here's a teaser for next time. Robbing Israeli gardens.
These are all true.
Drinking piss after masturbating on a farm.
Stealing a disabled child's artwork.
Saving a high-functioning autistic kid's life by pretending to be Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog and giving him Chaos Emeralds. This is true.
Are you messaging him right now because I really want him on?
Yeah, nah, I'll get him on.
You'll probably miss out the best details, but great guy.
Since you also wanted to expose me a bit earlier about my YouTube, I wanted to go back and ask you about your own YouTube because obviously.
You're talking about earlier about things that I'm not proud of, and that's definitely one of them.
Why though? Like, I think it's at that period of time where, especially like your videos, because your videos for your age and the software you had were very well made. Don't get me wrong, I get the understanding of why you cringe at them or whatever, but I still think for the age you were and what you had at your disposal, they're pretty well made.
I think back then a lot of people had aspirations because they were watching it like before their eyes, like KSI and all the rest, where people just made videos that it wasn't that advanced. It didn't have like a movie budget or a TV budget, and then they're getting paid millions and millions. Like KSI used to sit in his like fucking parents' house and do funny FIFA videos. Now he's got a penthouse in London. So I think it was just like trying to like crack through or like be funny or have something to prove.
Did you do it with the aspirations of like this might go somewhere, or did you just do it for the bands when you done it?
I think I just did it for the bands, but I'd always hope that it'd get picked up and popular.
Did you ever like share it on forums or whatever back in the day, or just sort of leave it and hope that someone out there sees it sort of thing?
Nah, I just left it.
Fair enough.
A lot of them, especially now, I put a lot of effort into inside jokes. I still make videos, but none of them go on YouTube because I'm just sending them to like one person because I think it's funny.
Yeah, but no, it's a good use of like, it's a good talent to have at your disposal. I mean, Christ, I'm still trying to get a job as an editor, and I don't have nearly the same experience that you do for like the amount of years that you've put into it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's...
Do you do editing as a hobby though?
Yeah. We had a conversation about this. What do you think on this? If you have a hobby and you turn it into a job, does it stop being... It's no longer a hobby, it's no longer enjoyable?
No, I think there's a bridge for it, because I think if you are a football player, it's definitely a hobby, but then you're getting paid for your hobby.
Like,
and the love of the game keeps you going, but if you love editing, even though you're getting paid for it, I think with something like editing, you're not your own boss, so therefore I think you would lose love for it would no longer become
it's more of a creative thing.
see if I got paid to do this as my job with Jamie, I would fucking love that as like a fucking job. If I was just paid to fucking sit down and chat shit with Jamie once or twice a week, I think that would be like...
On your current wage, or...?
Oh yeah, if I was given my current wage to do this job, I would 100% do that as like my main form of
I would
income.
buy that 100%.
Yeah, like, I mean, would you leave EE if it was like the same?
No, 100%. If this, I don't think I would leave EE. I think because obviously if we're recording a podcast every week, there's stuff 6 days of the week to fill your day up.
Also though, if you're getting paid for it, you have to do a lot more behind the background than we're used to, sort of thing.
100%, but I feel like I would do 2 days in EE and still keep my mind occupied, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I agree. I'd like to do something that a creative standpoint. The editing side of things is something I've never got into, but the actual making the content is something I can do.
Yeah, because you're back to your old ways of making trick shots, aren't you?
Nah, it's not even that. I mean, Dylan's still meant to be editing that, but he's
he claims it's nearly done. He claims he's still on it when I seen him last.
Nah, it's full of shit. But like Brian, like, not even just COD content in general. Whether it's COD or FIFA, I genuinely think I can make anything exciting with just stupid shit that I do, or even just me. I'm just a fucking amazing person. Let's be honest.
Modest as always.
But obviously, he could have asked anyone to be a co-host on his podcast, but I am.
You're the only one who actually accepted.
The only one that accepted. Yes.
No. As much as I'd like to bring him down, I can't, unfortunately. I
am the best choice. But anyway, I think the creative side of things I can do. It's just the editing and the willpower to go through with the editing and how building a channel and stuff. It's just something that I've not got. It's not even not got time for. It's just I've not got the patience for. I feel like learning new stuff is something that I find an annoyance.
The thing with me is either 0 or 100%. If I'm into something, that's great, but I will literally give all my time and effort into it. If I have even a tiny bit of like concern about it, probably will put 0 effort into it, and it annoys me a lot of the time that my brain's wired like that, but I just can't focus unless I'm 100% into it or 100% want to be there and doing it. It's the same with like studying or doing work or whatever it might be. This podcast, they're all saying to me. But yeah, I mean, like, not even maybe this podcast, but even if I was to do something like, even if I was like, say football mentioned earlier, obviously not like being a footballer, but like, say if I was able to like go behind the scenes and maybe film some things, or if I was able to like film a football game, I'd fucking love that opportunity, you know. And that's football's a big hobby of mine. I don't think by doing that I would lose my love for football, if you get what I
What
mean.
if you were to film it?
Yeah, aye. Like if I was a cameraman, or if I was one of these people who work in the social media department for like one of these clubs, I think I'd still like really enjoy it.
I genuinely think it's based on money. I think if I was getting paid my current wage to video a game of football for 90 minutes, then who isn't going to jump at that? You know, in comparison to my current job, which by the way I've started to really like again.
That's good, because you also went through a period
Right,
where you went.
but you know, so if I go and I could take the aspect of targets and all that shit away, just to video a game for 90 minutes, and I don't think anybody would to not jump at that would just be stupid.
I think like the first few times you did it would be stressful as fuck, because obviously it's gone out live for that. I think something like the social media thing would be a lot chiller to do.
Aye.
But I still think it'd be great fun. I would never turn something like that down.
No, of course.
Back to the YouTube thing a bit quickly then, were you inspired by anyone at the time, or did you just watch whatever you could find? Were you one of those people that had hundreds of subscriptions or not?
It's flipped about, but I'm very picky. Something doesn't keep my attention for very long. Like streamers or fucking movies, it's hard to get me to sit down and watch a movie. I like quick, fast-paced, edited things.
But like
So-
your sexual encounters. Quick, fat pace.
They've gone quite long actually.
Aye, the aftermath, you mean? Like,
Right, fucking, let's go for this shit joke, keep
Go
going.
over at one point, because you ever had it where like after you come you have to
right.
piss? No, you
You
brought
know
it
the
up.
problem.
I didn't bring this fucking part
Aye.
up.
Right, okay, what was your question?
What question?
You just said, have you ever had it when you come? What was the next
Yeah,
part?
after you come, this is a biological function, by the way. Your body needs to clear out your urethra if you
Yeah,
have
so
a
you go
cough,
for a piss after.
and it makes you want to piss.
Right.
But I was, you know,
You tried to hold
you know,
it.
no, she kind of like stopped a bit through, I think, because her knee was sore, and then my body was like, take my piss. So it's a lot harder, like fight between the piss and the coming thing. So it lasted a lot longer than it should have, but it was enjoyable. Cuddled after.
So obviously, what is it you're studying now at college, or well, university I should say?
Forensic science.
Because you're saying earlier about the fact that you were pretty good at English at school. Why is it you decided to go into that? How did that come about?
It's the hobby and career thing. Would have liked science as well, but I'd rather make a career out of science than writing.
Okay.
I've done a few writing commissions, and
pay
like
shite.
we were saying, like they pay shite. Any creative endeavour, unless you're in a big company, will pay shite. And even then, people will be like, you know, poking and prodding, shaping your like original idea till it's no longer yours. But I've always wanted writing to stay a hobby, an interest,
Yeah.
and personally, I don't see myself getting a lot of money out of it. Maybe I'll release a poetry book, like 2 summers, part 2,
3 summers.
3 summers, the final chapter.
Nah, so like, obviously when your exams came through, particularly ones in 6th year, you know, were you happy? Were you no happy?
No, I saw you. I was very unhappy.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking out there, like, why, like, do you think, like, because also a lot of kids will be going through, well, not recently, but similarly, recently, a lot of kids will be getting their exam results back, you know, probably loads are disappointed in them, you know, what was the way that you got over it, I suppose is the way to say.
Back then, I just didn't care. It never really sunk in that all this was going to end, and this is going to determine how you get a job.
Yeah.
I kind of floated into college, just like, I need something to do. And
Keep yourself busy,
aye. Make a long story short, eventually I dropped out, and I had to.
What did you go into when you went to college at first?
Same thing I'm still doing.
Yeah, right.
Applied biological sciences.
Yep.
My HNC and my HND. Actually, this German woman was meant to give me my HND. She's still not giving it to me.
Well, like the scroll, you mean, or like
The
the
scroll.
official certificate?
She wanted a report, so it was pending, and I gave her the report like 2 months ago. Still waiting
But
on
you've
it.
still not got your
She might have
HID.
died. She might have.
Well, there's nothing chance, mate.
It'd be a shame. She's a good teacher. Essentially, cut a long story short for that transition. Sat about doing the job hunting shit. I'm sure a lot of viewers are enjoying that right now. Applying and getting rejected.
I loved it.
It's fucking great. The catch-22. Have you got any experience in this job? No, that's why I'm applying. Right, fuck off. But did get a landscaping job, and that was that was hell. It was actually hellish.
Do you want to describe how that came about?
I got an interview in a truck.
I thought you know me. Go to Strangers fans.
I don't want to out the place because they actually gave me work when I really needed work, and the pay was okay. But
Yeah.
holy shit, it was going from farting about in college to hard labour. That was hellish. I'd get back about like 7 p.m. But I had to get up at 5 a.m. for work every single day.
No time for rest. And like, well, no time to do anything that you want, basically.
You need a full rest as well because it's labour. So 8 hours sleep, that gives you maybe 3 hours, I think it was, if you're getting up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It was fucking hellish. And also I have hay fever, so that was great for landscaping.
It didn't seem like the ideal, but I suppose when you're desperate for a job, you'll take anything.
The day I decided to quit was my body was about to fucking give. I'm like, thank fuck we actually have a quitting time. Like, no. There's another team here. You help us roll out turf. I fucking hate turf. Turf is shite. I see Swiss rolls and I spit on them. What fucking... It's like fucking turd rolled up with cum glue in it. Fucking hate turf. If you ever make someone turf at a park, you're a cunt.
What was it, a full like park? Like,
Yeah, the first job we had, drove up a huge park, and the council complained they don't like the rocks. Like, what fucking rocks? You ever walked and you seen a little rock just lying there?
well, like just wee chuckies or whatever.
Like a kidney stone style. So.
Yeah.
They said any rock bigger than a centimetre, get away. Picky cunts. Picked up rocks and wheelbarrows. That was my first job. Lovely. Fucking loved it. They made us. Mind I said I'd get back in to like my home at 7 p.m. And then I have to prepare for the next day, make my lunch up, fucking make my breakfast up, make my dinner up, feed the pets, all the rest. They made us stay there, unrolling turf till 7 p.m.
Whereabouts was
5.
it?
It was fucking. It wasn't Perth, it was a bit further than Perth. I think it was like Aberdeen. It was like almost a 2-hour drive. We'll come back at 9. Like,
That's a massive difference you've just about Perth. Perth's like 20 minutes.
no,
away.
because there was a job in Perth and I'm trying to think which one it was, but it was a really long drive.
So you were all over the place. You weren't just in like Stirling or whatever.
So you're finishing at 7 at Aberdeen and then travelling back, or you're getting back by 7?
No, we finished work at the site at 7.
And then go back to your house.
Oh, here's the best part though. You have to go back to the site to sign off,
Well, they couldn't have been like
that,
that.
which is almost an hour away from where I stayed.
Couldn't
That's
have
another
brought-
hour on the drive.
Couldn't have brought like a clipboard with your name or something. Like
No,
that.
it has to stay at the office. It has to stay at the office. And that was the point I realised, college wasn't so hard. I could really fucking buckle down. That's kind of when I got my life together, studied hard.
Just to make sure you don't
Good
get a
idea.
shitty job like that again.
I think that's the reality I got with plumbing when I was in plumbing, doing plumbing for a week. Well, one of the
I was
places.
gonna say.
One of the places. It was like I got up at half 3. Doing any more attack at Glasgow Road at 4. Picked up, drove to Elgin, worked until 7:30, sometimes 8. 2 hours back, got in the house for 9. So yeah, 3:30 to 9 every night.
3 to 9 p.m.
Aye. So
What age were you doing that? 16ish.
16, aye.
It puts everything in perspective though, doesn't it?
Aye. Done that and I was like, fuck that for a laugh.
Every time I see a
Like,
landscape,
sorry if you're on a plumber's, these guys were walking away with $3,000 at the end of the month. I'm walking away with 300 quid at the end of the month.
Aye, there's a big difference.
So I was like, right, fuck that. Do you know what I mean?
no issues with the co-workers. They were great lads. Company was fine. Just the fucking labour, holy shit, it was hard. No fucking training either. It's, here's this bit of machinery, how's it work? I don't know. And they fuck off. No toilets either.
I couldn't do labouring.
It's fucking pish.
Not for me.
I mean, you can only do it as well for a few months a year in Scotland before then you're fucked, and the ground's like too hard to re-turf or whatever anyway.
Just unable.
Yeah.
Fucking nightmare.
So obviously you've recently moved up to Dundee as of last week now. Was it? It was like 5 days or something now.
Yeah.
How's it been? You know, obviously you've gone up there, moved out of home for the first time into, well, I say like dorms. It's a bit different compared to regular dorms in Scotland. Do you want to describe the place you're staying in a wee bit? Like just like the surroundings. Like, is it like, do you have like loads of folks staying with you? Is it
The
like
other
what's the
day,
setup?
there was a junkie drinking Lucozade out of a bottle, cross-legged in front of the Tesco Express stores.
I mean, that's just Dundee for you. That is in most student dorms.
It's like I was saying, I'm trying to find the interesting things. It's a fucking flat, it's a 2-person flat, communal living area. For some reason they have a separate toilet and shower.
And is it, are you got another person staying with you?
Aye, barely seen them.
You barely see them.
Barely ever seen them.
Why?
Just no ran into them.
Just keeps himself in his room. I take
Is it
it.
like, is it like one of your old ones, but it's like your own room?
Aye, sure, no.
But is it like, no, but is it like this? So you, like two rooms, and then you've got a living room. And
I wouldn't call it a living room, it's one couch.
aye, but it's the same as this, so aye.
No.
It's like, what's the way of describing it? It's like,
There's a bunch of empty rooms and they've flung shit in it.
it's like, imagine like my old place back in Bain Street. From what I've heard, it sounds like that. Like you've got like a long corridor, you've got the bathrooms, you've got the 2 bedrooms, and then you've got a shitty wee kitchen and like
For everybody to go to,
aye, like a
It's a shared communal kitchen area.
With how many people?
One other person.
Just the one.
Aye.
That's not too bad though. And I was saying the other day, because obviously now, because the times that we're living in, I was thinking when you first said it, I was like, God, I would have missed the fact that I don't get to like meet so many people and join in. But obviously you can't do that anymore anyway. So it's probably kind of good that you get your own space. You don't have to worry about, you know, catching COVID or like spreading anything at that point. So it's probably a benefit to it this year more than any other year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's only like a 5-minute walk as well away from the uni, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty good life then, not too bad.
I'm Scumdy.
Scumby.
What's the online classes like then? Have you done any yet or not?
Uni's not started.
Right.
So it starts in a couple of months, isn't it? Or is it next month?
It'd be fucking poggers if it starts next month. But
I'm almost
Liam
sure.
loves that word.
I'm almost sure it's next month.
It's
It might be next week for us though.
do you think you're gonna miss the fact that you can't go and speak to teachers one-on-one, or are you quite happy?
you can.
Oh, can you? Right, you still get given that privilege.
I'm not happy they make us do labs. It makes sense, you do science, you have to do fucking labs.
Do you have to do it in a big group, or is it like one person in the classroom at a time sort of
I
thing?
don't know, not done it yet.
Just don't know what to expect going into it then.
I take things as they come.
Fair enough.
Unless it's an exam, I have to study for them.
Fair point.
I do miss Forth Valley College, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
I miss my homie, Josh. Do you want to see what Josh drew?
We'll look at it then,
Put-
because I've not to have.
Put up a big image of it because he hates it when I show it to people.
Right, okay, I'll do a or you can do a description of it actually, since it's your drawing.
It's not my
Well,
drawing. it's
okay,
his.
but it was a drawing gifted to you.
No, I took it from him.
Admitting to thievery.
He loves it.
Thievery.
If I give it back to him now, he's thrown in the incinerator. But every time I look at it, it makes my heart like flutter. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling and a smile. Look at this. Oh, that's beautiful. This little goblin.
He's a good drawer, that guy. Yeah. It looks like you should get that on the S folder by the looks of it.
Definitely not. I'm get a nice picture frame for when anyone walks into my room. You can see it.
It's just going to be displayed over your bed, you know, or the front door maybe. The front door, then people really know what you're about.
The flat inspector will try and take it away because what is this, Mona Lisa?
Is this morals?
I can finally stop being a flat inspector for student accommodation.
Oh, you're gonna have the joys of that, you know, especially during like reading week. That'll be, if you even so much as listen to music with no headphones on, that'll be getting you battered.
I do have a question though.
What is it?
You are now living by yourself. Well, with one other person you barely see.
Aye.
You find it difficult to sit down and watch a movie and whatnot. What do you do in your spare time? Because I assume with uni or being off and stuff, you've got a lot of it at the moment. What do you occupy your time with?
Alright.
Anything in particular?
You're gonna slate me if I say this, but it is.
I mean,
it
that's
is
what you
true.
get from Jamie. That's the
That's
contract
true.
that you sign when you come on here.
You have to break it, don't you? What's the best way to put this for sitting and chatting podcast listeners? D&D, basically.
Right. So like, are these games that you're going to be playing in the future, or is it just purely like for enjoyment's sake that you're just writing them?
I enjoy writing them. Sometimes I need to do notes. Sometimes I just want to write something in general. It's not always D&D. I've written a few systems for it, but you know, patent pending, copyright holding. Other than that, I play games because after the lockdown happened, everyone was always like, "Oh, I'm not playing games. I'm not playing games." No, came back and started playing games because it's the only way you could talk.
The thing is, the people that gave up games and says that, oh, if you don't come out of the lockdown with a new skill, they were just fucking fannies. Like, I tried learning Spanish and it wasn't for me, I just gave up, you know what I mean?
No.
I'm bad with learning new things in general, unless it's something I want to learn. I had a wee bit of a feel like I'd like to learn Spanish, but I was like, you know what, patch it, I'm never going to use it. So I scrapped it, and I just sat and played. Well, other than the times I was working, I just sat and played like Warzone and stuff anyway. And a wee bit of
The game of lockdown.
no, so the Liam is horrifically bad at.
My Tony, I'm the best.
You got that time for it?
No.
Not yet. If anyone can get me a 10th win, please, get in contact.
All I'm
You
saying
need to
is,
do it yourself, mate.
No, fucking no.
as I'm saying,
No,
as I've said to him prior to the podcast, whenever the next time is on, whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or next Wednesday, I'll get me his 10th one.
Well, you've heard it here first. I'm going to absolutely destroy Jamie if he's not got me my 10th one by that point.
Well, obviously, if you start making up excuses like, oh, I can't come on tonight, fucking, you know what I mean? I need
No. When we're playing,
I need to serve at the bar. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you hit it with some pishy patter like that.
I mean, who knows? Who knows when we get customers? Might be difficult. Nah. So just quickly then, just before we move on, are you looking forward to this new challenge? I suppose, or like new way of life. I get it. Are you a bit
No.
nervous or what?
I'm not looking forward to it, but every time I thought something's pish, I'll look back on it later on and go, that was alright, because I had to go to college in Falkirk. That was when I was like fucking depressed, like probably clinically, never got diagnosed. And Falkirk is, sorry if you live there.
It's a
Just
shame.
I'm genuinely sorry if you live there. It is a miserable looking city. It's
Especially
grey.
that college as well. It looked fucking. I suppose the new one looks quite nice, but the old one was fucking horrific.
The old one had a lot of character to it. There was always something to read in the boys' bathroom.
My sister's just started at the Falkirk College.
The new Falkirk College is fucking banging.
Aye.
Oh, taking a shit there. It's beautiful.
Aye?
It's like taking a shit in the SS Enterprise. Or is it USS Enterprise?
Whatever.
The SS is a Nazi one.
It's a night. Hitler's personal mode of transport. No, that's good. I mean, yeah, I suppose it's fair enough to be like apprehensive or nervous about something going into it, but yeah, like you said, try and think of if you look back on anything in the past that's been good later on. So hopefully that'll be the same with uni. Wishing you all the best of luck for when it eventually starts.
I talk a lot of shit to school real. Actually, no, I'm going to talk more shit right now. Actually,
Okay, right.
fuck you. Trains being early is fucking pish. Show up when you're on time. I'm coming to when you said you're going to be there. Don't fucking care if you're early, cunt. It's only like we students. Like, oh, fucking teacher, I'm early. Oh, that's great, Jimmy. You kiss you in the mouth, Jimmy. Fuck you. Your train's early. It's just a fucking dick. Fuck you.
And that's a personal message to Scott Bale. Nah, so see, like, as well about the whole COVID thing I was reading the other day. Liam Gallagher, you know, the fine man himself.
Prick.
Sorry, actually, no, I should define.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, thanks. Refuses to wear a mask wherever he goes because he thinks it's another one of our freedoms being taken away. What do you think of cunts like this that refuse to wear masks
But
and
I mean,
danger
I'm
zone?
just going to put it out there. You know Big Tam I work with?
Yeah, aye. Big Celtic fan.
Aye. Tara, I'd say, but aye, carry on. He doesn't think COVID's real. He...
Have you tried explaining that to him?
I mean, vaguely. I mean, it's like talking to a brick wall when you talk to a Tim, so no, not really. But what I will say is, I've asked his reasoning behind it anyway.
Okay.
He calls it a plandemic, not pandemic.
So it's all planned by them. They want to keep us indoors for some reason.
No, but aye. And, you know, it makes no valid points. Well, no, he makes a couple of valid points, but nothing too major.
No, nothing that, you know, you'd seriously think about.
No. And he is going on about how, like, so when we take customers' phones, we need to wipe it, disinfect it, or that, he just takes it, blah blah blah, carries on, gives it back. Because he doesn't believe in it, he doesn't think it's real, he thinks it's fake.
What does he think of all these people that are dying? What do you think that is?
This is something... Dirty bastard. This is what I'm saying. He's not got an excuse, but he has got an excuse. It's a bad flu, or there's a vaccination. There's a vaccination there, and it's not being released. And it's all planned.
Right. So he does think it's real. He just thinks.
No, I don't know. It's hard to describe it. He thinks it's real to an extent. He thinks there's population control is what he thinks, but. It makes no sense because...
What use is that though if we're all off work sitting for here doing nothing?
And more people died last year for like things like suicide and stuff, you know, than what they did this year for COVID. And I grant that COVID, we've been in the house for, you know, best part of 5-6 months. So there's a reason that the death total hasn't spiked. Because if we were out and about, the death total...
going out and about,
the death total would have been double, maybe even triple than what it is now. But because we've had that time away in the house. Like, he was the first guy to go off our work because he was diabetic, shitting himself, wasn't willing to touch people's phones. Having his 6 months in the house to come back and go, it's all fucking fake, He plays on his phone, plays on other people's phones. I'm like, literally, the pre-lockdown, you were like, no, this shit is serious, I need to get off work. Fucked off for 2 weeks on self-isolation, and then literally was one of the first people to come back and not give a fuck and said it was all fake. So
he's been on Facebook too long since he's been off reading the facts from
I think
anti-vaxxers.
I just think it's a bit mental, the situation.
It's just to be fair, I don't think it's as bad over here, but like you look at places like America, in particular places like Florida, they still have something like 10,000 new cases a day. You see like the cunts rallying through the shops saying like, don't wear a mask, you know, they're just using it to control us. Just like,
I don't think wearing a mask is actually like there's no need.
Well, you think not at all?
Nah, I don't think it's I don't think it's
well, what do you think about
I don't think it's taking our freedom away. You know, that's like like what's taking our freedom away is you wearing a balaclava. That takes your freedom to wear a balaclava away. You're not allowed to wear that. You know.
Not going to a shop.
Well, period. If you've seen wearing that in the street and a police is there, he's going to stop you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's taking our freedom away. You know what I mean? Wearing like lassies wearing stuff that show a lot of skin used to be frowned upon.
Yeah.
That freedom has been taken away. You wearing a mask for what is meant to be clinically approved is helping the coronavirus situation. That's not taking freedom away, that's preserving life in their eyes. But I think personally it's pish.
Yeah.
Aye. It's airborne regardless of whether it goes through a wee mask or it doesn't go through a mask.
Yeah, no, they're not saying it controls it 100%, they're just saying it helps reduce it though.
Does it though?
Aye. I've spent the last 3 years doing biology, so aye, it does.
Well, there we go. Then.
How?
It has to physically travel. It grows and repopulates in your lungs, so it gets transferred through your nose and your mouth. The coughing doesn't help the virus, it helps spread the virus. That's why it gives you that symptom. So you cough into a mask, you're less likely to shove up some old granny's nose or something.
Yeah.
It's no stopping it dead on, it's a reduction method.
Yeah.
So when you cough and then you take that mask off, is that virus no longer exposed to
The virus, I forget what it is now, because WHO, the World Health Organisation, has been dicking us about since the start. But the virus can stay alive on a surface that's like non-organic, like a couch.
So
or
fabric is
something.
72 hours, isn't it?
Something like that. It'll depend, because it'll be in your mouth, so there'll be humidity levels, moisture. It depends person to person, but it's better for the government, and if you believe in like the greater good and population and shit, it's better if you're infected to wear a mask, because then everyone you meet that day isn't also getting infected or
Or at
potentially
least it's
infected.
less likely to.
See, you know, maybe it is scientifically better and whatnot, right? But the issue I face with it is you either wear a mask or you don't wear a mask, and what's happening is people are wearing masks and they're only wearing it over their mouth
On the nose or
and
whatever.
not over their nose. And I, you know, I've got a habit of when I'm in the shop, I'll sit with it under, like, off my nose. It's purely a habit so I can breathe easier, as well as, you know, I'm looking at my phone and stuff. I don't want to be constantly taking it away because my glasses will steam up and stuff. I think it's stupid things like that. So then it defeats the purpose of me wearing it. I mean, I suppose it reduces it. You know, it reduces my.
Yeah, but like when some geezer or whatever comes in the shop and says hi there, and you know you go up, you also get fucking pull the mask up. You're not going to just fucking walk about with it on your chin.
No, of course, aye. But like, it's aye. So like, we've got protected screens. We've got all sort of. We've got the full shebang.
PPE,
Aye,
yeah.
we've got the full shebang.
Yeah.
But you know, having a screen there when you're talking to someone, that's the same as having a mask. In some sense, unless you're round the screen talking to the guy. Do you know what I mean? You're fucking spitting right at the guy. But I don't know. The mask situation is, although it may be better, I feel like it's a pointless feature. When it pretends 90%, not 90, maybe 70% of people don't actually use a mask for what it's used for.
I think it's useless when it's not enforced.
Aye.
If it's just like, oh, do it or don't, then
Can you turn folk away if they're not wearing a mask in your shop?
You're not allowed in the shop without a mask.
Aye, so like you'll just say to them point blank, no.
Aye, if you're not got a mask, you can't come in.
No. You can't get into thistles either without one, can you?
I don't think. But nah, you can't. Nah. And there's vendies in there as well with them, so it's, you know, it's not as if you've not got the capability to get one.
Aye.
But it's kind of point blank way. Like businesses and stuff, it's point blank. Wear it or you're not gaining access, which is fair enough. But when people come into their shop and they sit behind the screen, they take their mask down to talk to you, because when you've got a mask on, right, and you're talking like this, and it's hard to hear you, as well as a big screen there, it can become hard to hear, especially when there's two other advisors speaking to two different customers and they've got projected voice and you're projecting your voice. All just becomes a bit fucking wild. So when they take their mask down behind the screen to talk to you in habit, you know, by habit you match the customer and you take yours down, because you assume that they're taking theirs down because they're finding it hard to hear you. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, so like you're
Like if I walk into a shop and somebody's fucking, I'm struggling to hear somebody, I'll take my mask down, even though it's no me that's fucking struggling. It's just I'm struggling to hear them, so I'll go, and they'll match it. It's just it's no being enforced correctly.
Aye.
what do you think about that then? Because people are talking about freedoms and shit, but do you think the government should be a bit harder on it if it's meant to be in public areas? Because so far only the businesses
I
are
think
kind of doing it.
100%.
I think the whole situation pre-lockdown was handled incorrectly and it was policed very poorly. Like I was saying to Liam, I went to Glasgow twice and I showed no proof of where I was going. This was prime as well, by the way. Showed no proof of where I was going and I was allowed to travel. Although I was genuinely going for work, you know, they weren't to know that. I just said, oh, I'm travelling to this Glasgow store, we're working, we're working over the phone, blah blah blah.
Aye.
No issues, pal. And that was it. So it was police terribly bad. And the motorway that day was fucking empty, so I was like, these cunts are policing it heavy, like it's heavy duty policing. You know, I got stopped twice going there, twice coming back. You would assume very well policed, you know, especially when the blue lights.
Let's see some proof or whatever.
Aye, like blue lights came on, pulled you out to the side, and I'm like, fucking hell, shite myself. And they're like, we just need to know where you're going. And I'm like, alright. Told them, no fucking proof was needed. And even when the letters came out,
did they phone the shop or whatever?
no, like even when the letters came out for like critical key workers, I never got asked once for that either.
Right.
So it was just policed terribly bad, as well as like in, you know, the public gatherings of when it was allowed, like 30 odd, and you're allowed 30 to go for a party and stuff. That's just all ridiculous. It's far too soon and stuff. Boris humped it for everything.
Did you hear about the fucking Weatherspoons positive diagnosis?
What, the
So,
one
yeah.
in Stirling or?
It was over 50 Weatherspoons in Irish Scotland or UK. 66 of the staff all tested positive because, you know, fucking Weatherspoons need their doors.
Yeah, well, they to be fair, like, I mean, I know it's too late or whatever, but they did get their act together at least when they got caught.
It's hard for businesses, you know. We talk about it,
especially pubs and gyms and that.
You say it's hard. You know, you say it's like a government grant can only do so much for you as a business because you need to pay that back.
Yeah, because that's why I got let go.
There's only so much businesses can handle. Places like the dying arts like the bingo and pubs. Majority of pubs now. See in 20 years' time, no cunt will visit a pub. Or it'll be very seldom you'll find somebody going to a pub. It'll be like a nightclubby pub and then a nightclub. It'll be the way. You'll never see somebody going into the Anchor on a Saturday night, is what I'm saying. But you'll see somebody going into Morrison's, which is like loud music, banging, to go next door to the food bar. That'll still happen. But places like, you know,
your typical man pub.
Typical man pubs, they'll die. They'll be gone. I would imagine 10, 15 years from now.
Well, they're already fucking, you know.
Well, they're already on the way out. But like the bingos. Could you imagine your generation going into a bingo?
Oh yeah, like, don't get me wrong, when I used to work there, you'd still see occasionally, like, you know, folk going there to, like, they would be our age, but it would be like a one-time thing, or it would be with your work colleagues.
So do you mean in 60 years' time, could you imagine the bingos still being here?
Not in the way it's run currently, no.
No.
It would have to change.
I just think there's so many dying things that are dying now will be fully either killed off with the COVID or it'll push them to die.
Enhance it, it'll speed up the process.
I just think it's hard for businesses, although we can sit here and say businesses want their money, they do, of course, but at the same time, you know, places like Weatherspoons had to correct PPE for a lot of the time they were open, and like you said, they got their act together, but it wasn't enough. Do you know what I mean? They were asking their employees to wear gloves. Gloves carry the most amount of germs and stuff. It's just
Actually, when I was in biology labs and that, you might think, oh, science dealing with like fucking. We didn't deal with anything too dangerous, but it could still like. Kind of fucking. I forget what the types were, but it was mostly harmless. They don't want you to wear gloves in biology labs because you get careless. It's the actual reasoning. Because you feel like it's like walking out in the rain. If you have a jacket on, you're not really feeling the rain. You're like, I don't care how wet I'm getting. You walked out in your shirt, you'd feel it a lot more. You'd be more conscious of how wet you're getting, how much time you're spending.
If you have your exposed skin, you're more nervous about spilling it on there.
PPE is more of a last resort in these kind of things, instead of like, oh, it's dead on, it'll get you there and everything. Like, I had to wear a mask during my labs, but it was only because I was ill. Thankfully, no with COVID or anything. It was just if I coughed or something on samples, it would fuck me up.
Yeah.
In terms of it getting on you, it could be fucking. It's hands going into glasses and you touch the glasses. Weatherspoons, it just one wee bit of the virus, and then you need to rub your eye.
And people with these gloves on, these guys are thinking these gloves are fucking immaculate. Somebody came in and showed the day with gloves on, I was like, you need to take them off. But I'm no.
Was it like?
I'm not dealing you and you're carrying.
Was it like
thousands
snow
of germs.
gloves, or was it those like plasticky?
No,
like
like the actual
The latex.
the latex gloves,
Yeah, the latex ones are.
which
yeah.
carry the most germs you can imagine. It's like walking around in a fucking toilet on you. Do you know what I mean? I was like, take them off. No chance of my serving you with them. And you know, you are fanning about picking up bags, going out to different shops, looking at clothes, fucking doing this, that, the next time, rubbing your face.
You're just more conscious about it.
Aye.
It's your skin, you can feel it.
And there's hundreds of germs on it, and I'm like, right, you might be safe, but this isn't on. Take them off, sanitise, fuck off, and
Go for a shower, then come
aye.
back.
But I think you know, and they were giving gloves at the start because one of my cousins works in Wetherspoons, and they were giving gloves, and you only had one pair of gloves.
Really?
Aye, one pair of gloves. Well, for the shift.
No, even still.
I know, it's still shocking, but what I mean is,
How long do you have them on for?
well, if you're buying the bath,
if it's one pair for the full day, then yeah,
Oh my
6
god,
hours.
the gloves, fucking latex ones, they get so sweaty and
Aye.
fucking mank.
But you imagine having them 3-4 hours, you come off, go for a break, and you come back and put the same gloves
Do
on.
you do it inside out at least?
No, well, I mean, they go back on the same way because it's just horrible.
I know.
It just
The same
Wash your
actually
hands.
happened the day that I got sent home with it when I was ill. Like, because also I was around coughing, and everyone was fucking looking at me as if I was the walking plague, which, you know, to be fair, I may have been. And then my boss was like, yeah, I just put on like a plastic apron, put on some plastic gloves. No face coverings or anything like that.
Just, it's fucking crazy. I mean, download the fucking Test and Protect app.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
If there's
If you're out there and you don't have the download Test and Protect app, you know, get that immediately, because that's actually very useful for everyone out there.
Definitely get it downloaded. If there's one thing good that we can promote in this podcast, it is the Test.
Apart from sitting in the chat.
It's apart from Santa Chan.
And Anchor.
And our sponsors. But
And
what I will
2
say
summers.
is the gloves are a no-go.
Yeah.
Don't wear fucking gloves. Especially latex gloves.
the main reason we wear gloves is not to protect you. Especially when you're working with shit like burners, like Bunsen burners, you know, open flames and shit. It can be deadly. It can get like, not deadly, but fucking hurt because it like melt to your skin and shit. It's to stop your manky ass infecting the thing you're experimenting on, agar, solutions, esters, whatever. Sometimes we have to wear gloves if it's like chemistry, like corrosive liquids, because like, you know, dinny sewers, just wash your hands.
Yeah. Well, moving on, we're going to do a
The
segment.
COVID segment.
Yeah, the COVID segment. If we done highlights, that would have been
I've got something cheerier for you.
I'll go on then. I'm worried now where this is going.
I'll give this to you. KSI sitting on his fortune, his huge golden chair.
Of course,
He
you'd have
has
that. That's a
LOL and his rape face in the O of the wall above him. He's
Right.
lording over you.
Right.
He wants you to suck his dick.
Okay. Jamie's in straight away.
You will gain 1%. We'll say he has a lot of cum. 1% per 100 mils of his cum you swallow.
Well, like per 100 mils, I get his fortune.
Yeah, it's another.
Yeah,
every 100 mil
it's
is a percent
1%.
of his fortune. You have a week.
Who's come?
KSI.
You're probably getting an STD actually.
Wait,
zero.
for every what?
100 millilitres. We'll say he has a lot of cum in there. 100 mils is cum. So a big. Is it 300
How much do I inherit after every test tube?
percent
1%.
per 100 mil?
Oh, easy.
You think he's pretty well known that he's got STDs and that? Would you go for it still?
Swallow it in the hand.
But we'll say this time, for your sake, Liam, he's got fairy like washing up liquids. He's rubbed it on his
so
dick.
it's all good.
It's cured.
10 mil. 10 mil.
10%.
10% every
it.
time.
1,000 millilitres. Come. That's all. Oh, you said you had a week to do it.
Yeah.
100 mil.
So you,
dilute-
so you can have time to look at the seal. and think
Can you
what
like
your
dilute
life's
it all
become.
at all? So like you're still drinking the same amount, but
With
it's
his
just right. Okay.
Only
You
with
would
his
just
piss.
take the cum and then have cola later.
It's just more because not drinking cum myself at any point. You know, it'll be quite difficult to swallow like a fucking 1,000 millilitres.
This podcast is brought to you by Liam Swallowing Cum.
I don't think it's you do it all at one time.
Right, fair enough. I was just thinking you were going to see it off.
Yeah. You know.
The trouble is, I don't know how much he's worth. Say, roughly, what do you think he's worth?
Let's even go 25 mil. Let's just say he's worth.
Roughly. Right, okay, so what? So 1%, so what, like 2.5
So you'd be getting 2.5 mil from all your cum drinking.
Exactly. That's me set.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably a fair amount. 2.5 mil, you can probably be fine for life at that point, can you?
You just reinvest something.
Yeah.
100%.
Go on then. How much are you?
How do you make your fortune?
I'm not drinking this cum.
You're not? Weirdo.
No, you're weird as well.
Me and him, we're the normal ones. You're the weirdo.
I'm not cheating on my boyfriend.
Right, moving away. We're going to bring back a segment we haven't done in a long time. Liam, Jamie and guest do the news.
Done the news. Found out about the EE shop.
What?
Found out about the EE shop.
Yeah.
That's the news.
That's the news. Right, you and me were in Dundee last night. We watched the PS5 reveal. Thoughts?
More importantly, we watched Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase and Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island.
Important pieces of cinema, yes.
And Liam claims only one of the Hex girls is fuckable. It was the most fuckable one though.
No, I said hot. I think the other two aren't that good looking.
I'd fuck
Wait,
her.
who we talking about?
Some
Scooby-Doo.
random cartoon thing like Scooby-Doo, the one of the films.
No.
No.
Aye.
I mean, to be fair, if you've not seen it, you only get it. So, anyway, PS5 reveal. Thoughts?
Is this opposed to the fact that Xbox released a couple of weeks ago?
I mean, well, that's not in the news nowadays, is it?
Thoughts? I think it's funny that recently they tried to do Demon's Souls remasters as an exclusive, but whoever put it up at the grand reveal wrote also available on PC, and they took down every trailer and issued an apology saying it was human error. I think the PS5 has maybe like 6 games going for it.
But
On
at launch, it's got like 4 titles, is it not? Or is it 6?
Yeah. But think about consoles, like how many exclusive titles do they get after launch, and then their kind of lifetime after that? It's not many.
Nah. Like, I think PS5 got exclusivity to Fall Guys, didn't they? And that took, because I was on PlayStation Plus for free.
Like fuck they did. It's on PC, isn't it?
No, yes, but they had exclusive.
Like for the start, like
It's exclusive to
Xbox,
them.
you can't play on Xbox.
You still can't play on Xbox.
I feel more and more people are just moving to PC now though.
More than ever now, I'd say, yeah.
What do you use?
Most recent console I got was a PS4 because this is like
And do you
not
play
too
that
long ago.
every day?
No, because it was way down in the fucking living room, and my dog is huge. My dog's the height of this fucking table.
But is it in Dundee with you now?
It's in the boot of a car. I'm gonna take it up, but
Right, okay.
I would play it. Though I tend to go on PC more because I like talking to people, and most of the people I talk to are on PC.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, what do you think is a better one out of the two then, Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh no, PlayStation by far. They're so far ahead of Microsoft, is unbelievable.
They've lost their only like good exclusive now as well, Halo. So on
Aye.
MCC.
They're
That's the
so...
last time a good Halo game was released as well. It's been a long
Nah, I
time.
mean, I don't think
Well, we've no played it yet.
I don't think you
Okay,
can sit,
fair
I don't think you can sit here and disrespect Halo.
No, I'm saying the new
You're
ones
gonna
aren't
say
that good.
5 was good?
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think you can sit here and disrespect Halo.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, fair enough. The games were fucking class.
I'll disrespect the 343 ones till the cows come home. They were shite.
Well,
3 is a masterpiece.
in terms of a console, I like they've done a digital and a disc version.
Yeah, do you like that?
Absolutely.
£100 difference though for the disc version.
Yeah, so like,
So
for
how's a Blu-ray
for
fucking CD player?
for context sake, so like the Xbox for their digital version, £249. The Xbox with a disc, the one that's like about 4 times the size of it, is £449.
Where are they getting the 200 gap?
PlayStation, £359 for the digital version, £450 for the disc version.
Do you want to know what I want? I want to know from PS5 how much fucking storage space they have. I can
That's
get
actually a good point. they didn't
3
say.
games on the PS4
Yeah,
before I
no,
need to start
So it's a
deleting.
terabyte. It's a terabyte for launch.
Aye, but how much are the games going to be though? 'Cause
Yeah, like,
they
most
go
games
up,
like
there's
100
more
gig
and more.
these days.
Well, I mean, games are just going to get higher and higher.
Aye.
Thing is, again, it's got the capability of 3 hard drives now. The new PS5.
Oh, that's good then. At least then you can
No, I mean
do
it
that.
isn't. It'll just Gears 5 terabyte, and then you'll never need to speak of a fucking hard
No,
drive again.
it's fucking.
Yeah,
It's like
but that's
the
the
phone
big thing,
chargers.
money.
But neither does you buying a fucking a
SSD.
Toshiba fucking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They don't benefit for you buying a fucking 32GB hard drive for Toshiba.
It's probably because they're going to release like the 2TB version like a year later or something.
Probably, but what I'll say is the digital and disc version is a big thing. I don't know where they get the £100 gap for the Blu-ray reader, but it's good in the sense, like CDs is another thing that's absolutely dying.
Oh yeah, 100. I will.
Unless you're a JT and you buy fucking FIFA like 17 months after it's released.
I imagine
From the
that.
game, yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
mean, I
game.
I buy it on launch every single.
No,
For-
you
for-
go,
for
you
game
go
or
to the
CS.
bargain bin and buy like FIFA 04 and shit.
Oh yeah, for like a PlayStation 2, if I want a fanny about game, then
Aye,
yeah,
but
not
that's
the
like
new ones.
69 pence and stuff like for the CEX. There's a
Hope
big
that
difference.
picked that up. That was a good tune.
But
Just-
I think if
Because
and when I
you're
get it.
very keen to get a digital one opposed to disc.
Well, if and when I get it, I will be getting the digital. I'm not be getting.
I just like the thought though of being able to still get like because like the fucking
No,
the fact that you
man.
the fact that you need to have like good internet to download things pisses me off.
You need to download the.
Yeah, I know, but it's like half the it's half the amount that you need to download.
You're full
off
of shit, mate. Honestly,
Ah.
you're honestly full of shit.
Absolutely no.
You're no. If you spend the money
£100 to
to
extra.
get a fucking Blu-ray reader, you are a fucking Mongol.
No, here's the thing. They're saying backwards compatibility. As it stands,
The PlayStation doesn't have it.
they didn't say they don't even have it yet.
No, the Xbox does.
There
The
you go.
PlayStation
Okay.
doesn't. I don't know if for some games they will do, but
No,
they didn't announce
it
that.
is coming to big titles, as I said.
Ah, right, okay. But not like the Wii ones.
Aye, so like your fucking Street Fighter's not going to have it.
But like but the Xbox did say, to be fair to them, you get 1,000+ games of remastered.
What I will say is, Xbox the consoles are cheap, especially the digital version.
version.
It's
right.
very cheap and it's good. That's going to get a lot of Christmas presents. Put it that way.
Aye.
But if you're, like if you're away and you're like, oh, I want an Xbox for my Christmas, that's going to happen. 22 or 249, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's not unless obviously you.
The extra £100 for a PlayStation, a parent isn't going to pay that
What?
because they're not going to know the benefits of it.
What are the fucking? Sorry. What are the exclusives of Xbox? I've not seen them yet. PlayStation's a bit.
I honestly can't. I'll Google it.
There was a game that came out. Well, it was announced a couple years back now. The like Manhunt one, Deathloop. That was it. Spider-Man one, and a fucking. God, what are we now? Like 10 years, 11-year-old game getting remastered. Fantastic, mate.
I just think exclusives are just fucking stupid, I think.
I will say it got me a 360 for Halo 3, and I've never regretted that.
What does an exclusive bring to you unless you're, unless you're charging for it, then what is the point? Is the way I see it. What's the point in paying for the exclusive rates to it when you are not charging for it? You pay for PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live, but that's
Right.
before you buy an exclusive anyway.
Okay, Xbox exclusives. As Dusk Falls. Anyone know?
No.
The new Assassin's Creed
Fantastic.
Valhalla.
I will say that is a good exclusive to have.
Atomic Heart.
Shite.
Oh, PlayStation have the new God of War now.
Yeah. Avowed. Don't know.
Epic.
Battlefield 6. Borderlands 3.
Now, are these going to be like life exclusives though, like what fucking Bloodborne was for PS4, or are they just going to get released to everyone after a while?
Probably just get released. Nobody can really buy a life exclusive anymore because companies don't want to lose it in that.
They'd have to offer
Right,
a
well,
lot
aye,
of
'cause
money
it's,
for the games.
it's saying here
aye.
Call of Duty. Well, I don't actually believe this website because it's saying COD's World of the new Call of Duty
Well,
game.
Cold War is not exclusive to Xbox.
Aye.
Call of the Sea. Yeah.
That's maybe the.
It's like a zombies
That's a
map.
knockoff COD. That.
Cavalry 2.
He's just saying that.
See,
Chorus.
for years they said Halo 3 will always just be an Xbox, and now it's on PC.
Aye. I think,
But to be fair, they did it's like 10 years after it's been released.
but Steam are coming right into the whole.
Steam are one of the dodgiest companies in the world, and nobody bats an eye because they just sell games that they want.
I know.
Oh,
But you've got to buy your games for Steam pretty much, man. Is the kind of is the way you've got to go. Like I've recently just got my PC and like after using Steam for a couple of weeks, it's shite, but it does the job. Do you know what I
Have
mean?
you sat for a summer sale yet? You're pretty new to it.
Oh no, I've used it previous.
I was going to say.
I've used it previously. It's not something, but this is like proper. Like my own PC is me using it now.
Sorry.
But like there was a way back in the day I bought Euro Truck in like 2015 or something, and that was on the deals at the time, and picked it up for like peanuts. You know what I mean? So their sales are very good, but in terms of the actual interface and just how you use it, I just think it's fucking dead shit.
You used to be great. I'm not a big fan of. In general, how do you feel about companies wasting fucking money, redesigning, fixing what ain't broke? They try and redesign interfaces and shit, and it just looks more pish.
Well, I mean,
For example,
Apple's your fucking.
oh yeah, that's true. I mean, going back to Xbox as well, think about how good the 360 like hub was. If you look at the fucking Xbox One now, it's absolutely atrocious.
this is another thing they keep doing. This is more hardware, but PS5 controller, it's just a PS4 controller. Same fucking thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad about that though. I
Yeah.
hate getting used to a new controller.
Yeah.
Like I got that Stadia for Google,
Oh god,
Oh
it's
my
pure
God,
you.
no.
and honestly, the worst thing.
Well, the controller.
No,
Just
the
like
console.
yeah, that's fair.
Console's dreadful.
There's only like 5 games or something.
5 games on it. They've scammed every cunt on it. Like, it's unbelievable. And you try and punt it in the Facebook marketing, folk laugh at you. But a lot of people, genuinely, right, a lot of people buy the whole system because you get the Chromecast, the Super Chromecast, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
and you get that control, and people use that controller with their PC. Right? The two alone, so that controller costs you 60 quid.
Right.
And no, well, the Stadia controller costs you about 60 quid, and that Chromecast costs you 89.
Right.
So together, if you punt it in the Facebook market for 110 quid, people buy that because of the things you get with it. Whereas
Rather than the actual what it's designed for.
rather than the actual design of the playing games.
Yeah. Yeah, nah,
Because
that's
I've used the controller with the PC, and I can admit it is the linking with it, and it's sexy.
Google has had a few stinkers in recent time. I remember like Google Glass and things like that. Yeah. But they're still probably one of the biggest companies ever. Right, moving on then from games. Recently at a New York auction, Notorious B.I.G.'s Crown and Tupac's Love Letters were sold. I want you to try and guess how much both went for. So we'll start with the Crown first. How much do you think that was sold for?
Hey, well, Adam, we'll see who gets closer here, right? But can we just confirm, is it over or under $1 million?
It's under $1 million.
Under $1 million.
Under $1 million.
Under $1 million.
Biggie's Crown. That's criminal.
It's quite a bit under $1 million.
You want to go first or what?
I'm blown away by the disrespect to Notorious B.I.G. right there.
So,
On you
I would go 650k.
Okay.
go. I'll be a wee basic bitch and say I'll overestimate 810k.
225,000.
That's a total disrespect.
Total disrespect.
You can only buy a couple of issues with
Yeah,
that.
it's the one that he wore, that big famous picture with the red background,
yeah.
3 days. I think he took it like a week before his death or something. Right, okay then.
I mean, if we're now going into love letters for Tupac,
He wrote them when he was 16. The thing I would say about this before though, right? Say if you're like the lassie or whatever, I get you might need the money. Do you not think it's a bit weird though, selling off like your love letters?
don't know. It just depends. It gives you another insight to how the person behind the
I suppose.
You
I
know,
would have just
no,
loved
no,
it
me,
if it's-
I wouldn't buy these to go, oh, I want to be in the fucker's mind, dude.
Yeah.
But I'd be like,
It's a cool thing to have.
it's a cool thing to have.
Interesting.
Right, what do you
But-
think for that?
Like,
You wrote them when you were 16.
again, 100% under $1 million.
It's under $1 million.
80k.
Right, 80.
But I wasn't even going to go as high as that. I was just going to go 40, 45.
So they're both off. Pretty much double. In fact, no, it is double the price of the Crown. 460,000.
Nah.
I'm telling you, that's what I went for.
And this has been sitting and chatting. What the fuck? That's
Well, there you go. Even know now who's the more respected artist by the looks of it.
criminal.
But
Yeah, he wrote
the
the.
better artist.
Debatable, to be honest.
No, Biggie Smalls. Let's start the fucking Crips and the Bloods war.
Sitting in chat. We're going to have them rocking up to yeah, I just find it interesting.
That's fucking outrageous how it's double, by the way.
Double.
That's made me feel sick.
It's just.
I'm just trying to see if it's only
if
one
it's like
letter.
his fucking like durag or something. I'm probably saying that wrong.
That's fucking outrageous.
Dicky Crown's like.
Wait, I'll move on, hurry up. I feel sick after that.
I'm sick to my fucking stomach.
Fair enough. Right. Another thing. Coming up. Basically, in Nigeria, these two filmmakers were making like a film about lesbian love life. Okay. And because of that, they're basically getting threatened with jail time if they don't stop distributing it. But they're basically saying like, fuck you to the government, or getting it distributed no matter what. I just thought it was quite interesting. So, doesn't have a film yet. It's due to go for an international premiere though soon, but they've basically been told if you do that, you're going to go to jail. You have to be very committed to your art to, be willing to fucking go to jail for
You
it.
should just move at the country at that point.
What, like just then fuck off at the country?
Like, fuck off at your country, and then that way you can't get jail time and you can.
There's the whole thing like immigration, like.
Yeah. Plus, like a lot of
mate,
money
get the
away.
boat.
there's something.
In Nigeria, it's not on the coast, is it not?
No, it's right in the centre, but it's
No.
more the point.
Carry
of-
the boat the
it's
whole way.
one of.
Fucking
But
silly.
Nigeria is one of 30 countries in Africa where that, where basically doing this is a crime, basically. So you're kind of more than half of the countries there you can't, well, just under half the countries you can't go to. It's just, you got to put a lot of respect on it. These people are willing to go to jail to tell the story. that they
I'm
love.
surprised they've been fucking lynched, to be honest.
Well, apparently they were threatened, but they're basically told by the police it has to be censored or you have to stop distribution, otherwise, you're going to jail. And they're basically like talking about the stories, especially like coming out to like a Nigerian parent. Apparently, like the mums are the ones that take it really bad over there. That's what he's saying. Apparently, like if you're bisexual or like lesbian, or presumably gay as well, but it just goes into bisexuality or lesbians here. They were apparently like whipped when they were younger if you came out to them about that, tased. Someone went in to hear about talking, literally tased by your parents just for like your sexuality.
So do they just keep the taser on hand in case they're like.
I don't know why.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently, according to like the president, it's like homosexuality is one of the biggest issues in Central Africa.
Should you laugh? I'm just imagining some
issues.
fucking parent crying out, "Oh, my son is gay," pulls out a taser and fucking blasts. Fucking hell.
Yeah, and it's saying like police in Nigeria have cracked down on people suspected of homosexuality, which basically force them into hiding.
You'd be terrible in that country, Liam.
I don't think you would survive.
Number one suspect.
It's just it's mad though to see like how different like certain parts of the world are in 2020 as well. Like
Well, no, you say current year, but it's only for the West.
Yeah, but even still, like 30 out of 60 there's 62 countries in Africa. 30 of them that's illegal. That's a mad stat for me. I didn't think it would be that. I thought it would be like maybe like.
What
10
about the rest of the
15.
world? What's the script of the rest of the world?
Well, like it's still obviously like it'll be frowned upon in like other parts of the world, but I think it's more tolerant in place. Like it's not like illegal in like a lot of Asian countries, but like it's still frowned upon sort of thing.
Not bad. I don't know. I get that. I don't get why it's frowned upon, but what I mean is I get culture and stuff. It's what I do with that. It's not right, but it's the way it is, and we might have adapted, but it's been forced upon us. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like we've got platforms like TikTok and shit like that that's fucking.
Oh, you finally went to shit.
No,
Yes,
no.
finally.
I do agree, because they'll be being fed media from one side, obviously controlled by government with this agenda.
Exactly.
As we've talked about, our government's a bit shite with this, and
There's like
we've been fed this media. This is right.
16-year-olds literally on TikTok showing their tits off. They've been given that platform at the early ages where us three were playing fucking Kirby, and these kids are on TikTok showing their tits off. There is a significant difference in the media.
Yeah.
So and obviously culture's a massive thing, because African families go to church and stuff, and they believe in
Depends
reproduction
by country.
stuff.
Yeah, but they're more traditional, shall we say,
Aye.
over there. They've not really adapted to more modern aspects like that, especially.
Well, our modern aspects, because
Yeah.
to them this is.
It's all about perspective.
Aye.
Yeah, it's
That's
just-
Live and let live.
As for the filmmakers themselves, it'd be hard to move out, but I feel it'd be
Well, that's
important,
Jump in a
important,
bus, get to the
well,
coast.
that's
win
what
it.
important documentary. I'm not sure it's worth being a martyr for, because for all the bleeding hearts on Twitter, nobody's actually going to fucking help them in Nigeria.
No, of
The
course.
police will just lock them up and be, oh, boo-hoo.
Well, but that's the thing though. They've already, the police know about these cunts, so basically they won't be able to get out. If that's released, then that's them done for. They're going to go to jail. So it's a question of
Aye.
if they're going to be the people to rightfully tell the story, but unfortunately end up being the poor cunts who are going to be put into jail for it, and who knows what happens there at that point. Because who knows if maybe
Is it two males or is it a male and a female? Who is it?
It's both females, 2 females.
Which I assume are lesbian with each other.
It doesn't say here, but you maybe would think so. Yeah, I don't know if it's just them, because they did say they wanted to tell their side of the story, like give an insight about what it's like. But
To the mix with you Maddie.
but yeah, I presume they're together, but it doesn't specifically say.
It's a bit hard pressed, but it's kind of it's fucked up when you get stories like that, because you're going to hear about it one day. This is going to affect them their whole lives, but you just sat here, cool, and you forget about it in the next 10 minutes or something.
Well, I suppose on one side though the hope would be, because they've said there isn't a film that's been released out from like a country or a country like that about this issue. The hope is maybe if it is released it can get a bit of international, like obviously,
I think all of this shit though doesn't really help it.
well, like just promoting it.
So you're saying so they do the jail time and then it gets published here, and yes, people will regard it as like, oh, that was a crap show.
That's shit, yeah, but
Really
we're in the
is.
modern times.
Yeah.
They could digitise it
The
and then
whole-
send out something else.
Like a massive topic right now though is Black Lives Matter, which people have arguments for and against, but I'm just going to put it out there. Taking a knee at the start of a football game isn't going to spread awareness. As much as people might want to believe it, it's not. It's the real stories that people get attached to.
Yeah, but the hope is if this is telling the real story, if you get me. But the one thing I would say though is, say by some chance, okay, this film was released and it was considered a masterpiece. It was like up. I don't know if it could be up for foreign film at like Oscars or like Cannes
Aye.
Film Festival or whatever. Your hope is, say unfortunately, if these people go to jail for this, right, it gets picked up internationally over there. There'll be a lot of pressure on like their government to release them. So yeah, you maybe won't save everyone, but at least then you're helping these folk out in their situation.
But by who? By who? Are film viewers going to internationally pressure the government?
No,
They're fucked. If they release it, they're fucked.
How many times is popular media and the people talk shit about North Korea? Has Kim Jong Un getting kicked?
The only governments that get pressured is ours. We're the only government that can get pushed and prodded about because we're a weak government.
I suppose.
I understand your
Aye.
perception, but Nigerian governments aren't going to get a fuck. They're going to be like, I'm like, fuck it. They're in the jail. They broke the law. Simple as that. Whereas our government, even with that last year that came over and then went and joined ISIS and stuff, and then
the one who wanted to come back.
yeah, like our government was poked and prodded to the point where
But they still banned them.
no.
Which is weird.
Aye, but that's what we wanted though. I'd say 80% of the 80% of the UK went, no, we don't want her back in, and then they were forced into saying no, whereas they were allowed her back in, no bother, because the government wants no pressure on it. We can get pushed and pulled about, whereas other governments can't.
It all depends on influence, because right now Britain's Democratic Party, it's a fucking popularity show. Just do what you think will get you the most votes. Over there, I don't know what Nigeria's government is. It might be democratic, it might be despotic, but
Maybe dictator.
imagine if a bunch of Nigerian people were really upset that there's gay people in Britain and they asked the government in Britain to outlaw like homosexuality.
Yeah,
It's like the same thing. What the fuck are
my
Britain gonna care?
more thoughts about it were like sort of if it got enough recognition, it were at these film festivals and it was plastered over your Netflixes or your Amazons or whatever it might be. It would maybe at that point get just enough pressure for them to either
Of course, there's
do
always
something
a
about
potential.
it. I understand that it's very unlikely. I'm just thinking maybe that's their thought behind it to
I
release
think
it.
Hollywood celebrities would latch onto it like the fucking Parasite and pedophiles. Never forget the pedophiles. That they are trying to co-opt the movement as well. Like they've done that for. There's a few honest people at the start of Black Lives Matter, like the fucking guy in the new Star Wars movie. I keep forgetting John Boyega.
John Boyega, yeah.
But then, of course, that was like, oh, this is popular. I'm gonna jump on this because I'm a little leech.
It's become very much a bandwagon, which is not the way, you know.
Well, it's partly what you want and partly doing what you want.
It's
As soon as the movement becomes bigger and becomes co-opted, the original message just fucking wavers out and dies.
Yeah.
Which is again why I say taking the knee isn't going to help any cunt. Although, you know, it doesn't affect me. It wastes what, fucking 4 seconds of my time. No, it doesn't, because I still watch 90 minutes of football.
Yeah.
It's not the first 4 seconds of a game they take the knee. It blows the whistle after it.
Aye.
It affects me in no way, shape or form to the point where
I
I'm
don't
like,
understand the folk that get antsy about it either.
yeah, like I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, there they are, take the knee again. Like, it doesn't bother me. Take the knee, spread what you believe is your message, but it's no helping they cunt. Like that, taking the knee isn't helping they cunt.
Is this the Zo BLM like riots and shit being covered in the podcast?
We've done wee bits about it at the start of lockdown. We sort of missed it. It's not like missed it a lot, but we covered wee pointers. But you know, I didn't want to go too. I think we sort of spoke about it. We didn't want to go too much.
It's a
into
topic in which you can't put a point across because you've never experienced it.
Yeah,
Is it true?
like we are completely we're completely like, it's like a Nigerian thing just there. Like we're completely inexperienced about that. I don't mind talking about that for a few minutes because, you know, it's good to get like our point of views across.
But we are in a privileged state to which we don't need to deal with racial abuse being flung at us. We don't know how it feels. Do you know what I mean? You know, like it's me and probably used to confirm any slagging you want, right? Me personally, you can call me whatever you want and I'm not getting annoyed. I'm not para, I don't care. But
it's a different kettle of fish.
it's when someone has been racist and you don't know how it feels because you've never experienced
The
it.
question is more about the methodology. I don't have a very strong opinion on this. It's just, do you think the more peaceful protesting would have been the way to go, or do you think no message would have
You
got
can
across
never-
without the riots?
the
How
one thing-
effective do you think it's been?
The one thing I would say in response to like the peaceful protests, the most famous protester I would argue that's ever lived is Martin Luther King, who done
Mahatma
everything.
Gandhi.
Well, okay, yeah, second
I was
maybe,
just
but,
literally about to say again.
Hey,
but
Gandhi.
you know, two peaceful, two that completely advocated violence, at least for the majority, and never resorted to violence as much as they could.
They
You
got
know,
killed.
so yeah, but my point is though, like, their message still gets across today. You know, they're the most remembered for a reason. You know,
Can you truly have a peaceful protest anymore though? Because you've always either got
don't think you can in America.
no, because you've either got the 1 or 2 idiots, or you've got a group of idiots, or you've got the police insinuate. No, wait, what's it called?
Inciting.
Inciting riots,
Oh, okay.
or smashing windows to cause the police to be then forceful. So you can't have a peaceful protest anymore. It's not a thing. I don't think.
I think it can, but just maybe not for a subject matter this serious. I think you can do it for other shit, just nothing like as big as this, if you get me. People are too angry, especially in like America, people are far too angry about it.
Do you think anything's changed since the
Oh, they have their exclusion zone. Have you seen that?
what?
That's fucking marvellous. The exclusion zone in America. You need to be reading the good news. There's a lawless kind of. I think it's California.
Right.
Oh, I've seen this.
I think when it first started up, a local warlord hoarded all the guns and took over.
Nice.
They also had a little farm. It looked like a sad little gulag, a little concentration camp for plants.
Sorry, what is
It's
this?
a lawless area.
Well,
Yeah,
just
it
for
was
anyone.
excluded from the police.
It's excluded from the police in America.
Well, like a favela, basically.
Aye, you could describe it as that.
I'd describe most areas of America as a favela. I hate America.
But it's just
No, I'm feeling with you. Like, I used to think America was this great place in the
it's
last
because
4
everybody was
years.
sold on the American dream.
I'll say this: I think the rest of the world should stop trying to fucking Americanise themselves.
Definitely.
America's problems, America's views, and America's ideals should not reflect your own country.
Stirling Uni is one of the worst examples for that. They try everything they can to be Americanised. Like, they literally have their calendar set to the American date for no reason other than they just want to be like America. It doesn't make any sense.
That is a stupid, because it's such a shit country. But
it is like, you're right, because like me and Duncan were talking about this the other day. Like, see if you're like really wealthy, like you're earning like say 100k a year or whatever, it'd be a fucking great place to live. See if you're anything other than that though, it must be the fucking shittest place to stay.
I see places in America and houses that people have in the areas in which they live, and I'm like, that looks fucking horrible.
It's a third world country.
It looks depressing. It looks so fucking bad. I'd rather stay in St. Ninians in fucking California, and that's saying something. Do you know what I'm saying?
You stay in St. Ninians.
Aye, no, but that's what I mean. I'd rather continue to live there than go fucking...
Better quality of life.
Aye, it's just fucking depressing, man. Like, not for me. But I remember when you were big on America, but yeah, I've never been a fan of America. I just think it's terrible.
You and me have both visited Florida. Like, I loved Florida when I was there, but there's a difference between like a 11-year-old boy going to Universal for the first time. And
There's the showy part of Florida,
There's a holiday,
and then
then
there's the real part.
there's a holiday. Holiday in life.
Especially like travelling around Florida, it's God. I've got a bit of a curse about me. I went to Florida twice. I think you ever heard of the Mothman? It's some supernatural thing like Bigfoot, where I think it was West Point, Virginia. It's a guy who looked like a big moth and he was flying about, and he'd always show up before disaster struck. He landed on this big bridge, and then it like collapsed. I think I'm the Florida Mothman. First time I went there, landed, couple days, Trayvon Martin. Next time I went there, it was alright first 3 days. Then there was that Orlando gay club shooting. Drove about the next day and the police were walking out with fucking assault rifles on. In Scotland, the worst thing I'm thinking about when I'm in a car is if the weed smell. I don't smoke weed, there's just weed hanging about in the car. It's too strong, they'll pull you over and maybe write something. These cops are walking about with fucking military gear.
Didn't you say as well you went to a fucking... They say someone got eaten by an alligator or something.
Right, a wee toddler got fucking munched by an alligator. Like, crunched up. It was on the news in Florida. Next day, went to Gatorland. So many kids just running about. Just so many kids.
I always remember. Whenever I think about that, I think of... Have you ever seen the clip of when Jamie Oliver was making chicken nuggets to the wings?
It's so funny.
He's a fucking prick as well.
Yeah, but for those that
enemy of Scotland.
For those that don't know, by the way, I've never seen a man be so utterly destroyed by like a group of schoolmates before as him when he went to America. Basically done a whole series
I don't know, mate. I've seen you play Warzone.
So anyway, big jab at Oliver. So he went over to America. No. Do you not want to be associated? Big Monsieur Jamie Oliver went over to America to try and make the Waynes healthy. As you can tell, probably hasn't succeeded. But I've never seen a group of people so desperate not to listen to a man. When they went in and he's like, "Oh, can we do like potatoes instead of chips?" sort of thing. It's like, well, chips are potatoes. You know, they're just as healthy. Like, no, they're not. It's like, can't convince me. Basically, like your mate in the East store. They're just full of folk that won't be convinced otherwise.
He's a pricker, man.
Yeah, but the best thing ever was when he went to go and make chicken nuggets. So like all the Waynes were like. So he's like, "Do you like chicken nuggets?" And they're all like, "Yeah, we love them." It's like, right, let me show you how it's really made. And they showed like the exact process of making it, of like blending up all the shittest parts of like all the meats, shoving it together, getting shitty breads like crumbs, wrapping it together, freezing it, you know, not even like freshly cooked or whatever, burnt out. And then it shows them like what the chicken nugget looks like at the end. It's like, right, so who wants one of these? Clearly expecting all of them to say no, and just every single one puts their hands up and like, "Can I have some?" And he just fucking walks away and starts greeting. He's just like, I can't change these kids' minds.
Is that not what you want though? Like not wasting parts of the animal. It's like the beaks and eyes and shit is getting turned into a big tasty nugget.
He clearly went for the shock factor of being like, yeah, no, you don't want to eat this bit off. Or just like,
See, the thing is, he had good intentions, right?
Yeah.
And I hate the man, but he had good intentions and tried to make...
His restaurants were class.
He tried to make the world a healthier place. One man can't do that.
He also done it in the wrong way.
Aye. Fuck him and his iron brew.
So it was iron brew.
And cornflakes. No, what was it? Cocoa Pops. Fucking ruined Cocoa Pops.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Fucking fat prick Jamie Allan.
Right. We're now going to move on to the last part of the podcast. We're going to be playing the game, quick fire questions. Jamie, do you want to explain it to Ben whilst I load up?
Not really.
Well, there you go. That's your treat.
No, just leave it as that.
Right. The game is called Hot Seat, right? Feel free to sponsor us.
Still 54 episodes.
Although, download Anchor.
2 Summers by Oliver Simpson.
What I will say is, right, a hot seat, very simple
Aye.
for pros, like my good self. Now, what happens is
Slip my balls.
you get a letter, right, from the alphabet,
That's fucking mental.
which Liam will give you. Now you can choose to re-roll this letter, right? But what you need to do with this letter is you're going to then be given certain topics, right, such as toiletries. Say your letter is T, you would say
Toothbrush.
toilet, toothbrush,
Toilet paper.
exactly.
Twat.
And there is
Toilet
certain,
already.
and then pets, tarantula, although who would have that, regardless. So the idea is to get 10 in the fastest time possible, right? For every one you get wrong, it adds 5 seconds to your time, right? The idea is 10 right in the fastest time, happy days.
If you can't think anything, you can pass it, or if I think, or you can't. Plus, you can't use the same word more than twice, so you can use it twice at
You
different
can use
points.
like 2 words like toilet paper.
Aye.
I like you can say as many like
Toilet,
different.
toilet.
You can say as many different words as you want.
What
but
was like pet and I say tiny dog?
No.
no.
I
Like
gave you a pet and you
will
fucking
like I will also
Didn't
be,
you say T-Rex?
I said tarantula.
I will
Tarantula. You said Tyrannosaurus.
I will also be taking your first answer for all of these. So if I think you're chatting shite, it'll be getting passed. And
Yeah.
also added on to this, if you get 5 incorrect, then it's a DNF, but you get 1 more chance if you DNF to come back with a good time. Okay.
Right.
Now, you're the third and final Ben that I know to appear on this podcast. Both are conveniently positioned right against each other on, well, Ben Gilmore's on 58 seconds and Ben Francis on 1 minute 2. Is there any times up there that you'd like to beat? Is there anyone in particular you want to beat on the board?
Alba, and if I didn't beat Alba, then
At
I want it to be
30.
known that she has some kind of obsession with killing children and eating them.
Or an avid fan, let's just go with that, an avid fan.
Yeah. Right, Ben, your letter is M. Do you want to stick with M or do you want your 1 reroll?
Now, bear in mind your reroll could be Z. But
Or it could be S or A. Easy letters to get lots of things with.
I don't want to think of it.
I think the things we get my M. I'm glad to see someone's taking this seriously for once. We don't get this often.
I hope he beats the time though.
I can't think of any words with him.
So you want to
I'm
reroll?
thinking shit like monolith and master bedroom, but that's pish, so reroll.
Okay, well, you have to stick with this, whatever it is, and it's P. It's not a good one,
That's
but
fucking
remember.
poggers.
Poggers, that is. Right, you ready, Ben?
I hope it's not a toiletry one.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Common surnames.
Pattinson.
Right. Words ending in N.
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 Poon.
Yep. Things that are black.
PlayStation.
Yep. An embarrassing moment.
Penis out of zipper.
Right. Creepy crawlies. Can pass if you need it. Do
Creepy crawlies.
you want to pass?
Aye, on you.
Things that are cold.
PlayStations when they're off.
Okay, that should last if you're using that. TV shows.
Puss and Pat.
Yep. Places in Europe.
Is there even one?
It's
Yes.
a big one.
The fuck you on about,
With a
mate?
big tower.
Eh?
Right, I'm skipping it.
What?
Words associated with winter.
Pine.
Occupations.
Postman.
Right. Ben
By the way, places in Europe, Paris.
Aye, the
Or-
city, Paris.
or Poland.
I thought it was countries.
No, it's just places
Oh,
in
fuck
Europe.
me.
I said places.
That's
in
what I think, like, aye, it
Poland.
can't be Paris.
Poland.
Oh, Poland. Let's just redo it, cut the audio.
Nah, just cut it out of there. Right.
I just hard cut you saying Poland. No, that's right, Ben.
I was actually
Okay.
tempted to say to you halfway through this, I would automatically DNF myself to get another shot.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Do you want? Well, shall I go through your time first? Okay. So you got 8 correct, which is decent.
Which
you
is
know.
the same as the other two bins.
Yeah. You know, 8 to 7 sort of what you want around to get a decent time. However, the time itself is 1 minute 35 seconds, which would put you
Just
Whoa.
under
third last.
No, yeah, DNF.
Can I DNF?
Do you know what, Ben? You've given us a big, good podcast, and you're the first guest in this room in 2020. I'll give you a restart, okay?
Now you know what you're in for. This is the first time this has happened.
What? Can you think of the creepy crawly one?
No, they're literally.
Fucking
I don't
point.
think
I
there is.
can't think of one yet.
I literally don't think there is one.
The only thing I could think was fucking Bobbit one.
I don't know.
Then
Actually.
it goes to preacher.
Okay, Ben. First option, E. Do you want that or do you want to re-roll? Because it's the only word I can think of. The E is elephant, and that's it.
E, elevator, exit. The thing is, you want something with nouns, because the game's all about nouns, isn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
Eleanor, elephant, reroll.
Okay, one more re-roll. Jai. So you have been kind of shafted, I'll give it to
I'm
you.
not gonna lie. There is one insect starting with P.
Which is...
A Picasso bug.
And you didn't know the Picasso
Fucking
bug.
terrible.
Right.
What was the letter?
Jai. Now, Ben, you have to hope this I get you in. Okay?
I'm
You
thinking
ready?
like 5 things. It's the toiletry one that's fucking up. Put the fucking jizz hole.
Just...
Will you take that one?
No, I forget
that one.
Right,
You take that one.
right. You ready?
Aye, let's just go.
3, 2, 1. Celebrities.
Jason Statham.
Yep. Things in the kitchen.
Jar.
Yep. Things you throw away.
Jizz.
Yep. Things in the sky.
Jets.
Yep. Colours.
Jet black. I don't
I'll
know.
accept it. Crimes.
Jaywalking.
Yep. Adjectives.
Jealously.
Occupations.
Jet engine pilot.
Okay. And things that are sticky.
Fuck, I already said just jam.
Yep. Things that you can grow.
Jellyfish.
They can grow. Yep. Right.
That was way better.
A much better time.
I
And
thought you were going to hit me
think
with some shit like
and
juniper berries though.
you're the third person ever to only get 10 correct. So, you know, well fucking done for not passing on any of them. That's pretty impressive, to be honest.
You know what I've just fucking noticed? Because you said Alba at the start who you wanted to beat. I forgot you in better time.
Yeah.
That's fucking
I
mesmerising.
know. By 10 seconds as well.
And 10 right. Well,
Right. Right, Ben. With 10 correct.
this is well more respect. I'm saying you're above Lewis here.
But where's Lewis? 56 seconds. Where do you think you are?
Like, better than Ben Gilmore. Hoping better.
Better than Ben
Go to
Gilmore.
be.
Who do you want to be at the start, Ben? Alba.
Aye.
Right, can't,
Well.
Can't fucking do.
With a time of
Can't fucking
30.
Oh, you bastard.
8.
Oh, my-
Point
Oh no.
6
Oh,
with
you
10
went above him.
correct.
You went above
So
him.
you are one by score alone. You are better than Alba, and in
Alba's-
second place.
By the way, I rate that. But you know something? Alba's going to claim that you got a retry. You're going to need to cut that audio.
No, I won't cut the audio. Things are fair. People are key sort of changed, so you know we've got that out there as well. But no,
It's still getting me. Occupations that begin with J. Like, It's probably one that's
Janitor was the
Janitor.
came
Yeah,
came straight into my head.
But
And then right at the end there as well, juniper berries. I don't know why, just things you can grow.
Nah.
Just fucking flew right in.
Thinking
well fucking played. There was. See if it wasn't for like two of them.
By the way,
it would
with
have
J
been-
as well. Right there.
Yeah, no, with a difficult letter, that is fucking impressive. So not only are you the best Ben that we've had on the podcast, but you're also the second best person. I think it has to be said. Is that how we're going to judge that now?
Aye.
We'll maybe leave that up to debate. But no, congratulations, mate.
It's got all 10.
You, Mackenzie, got all 10, and Fergus got all 10, and James as well. I didn't notice James Craig got all 10 as well. So you're the fourth person to get 10 correct.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, with a difficult letter, that's probably the hardest one.
Albus was pretty easy as well, wasn't it?
Relatively easy, yeah. But nah, fair play to you, mate. Well done. I'm proud of you for that. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Apologies for easy little news segments that spiralled out into political.
This is easily the longest one.
We're close to it.
You
But
cut down
this
the
is
crap.
this is
It's not that good an edit.
This
Like.
is fuck off. It's what podcasts are about, spiraling. Just chatting shite. That was basically our motto.
Sitting and chatting.
But yeah, this is my last one that I'll be doing in Scotland. So the next time we talk, yeah, thanks. The next time we talk, I'll be in Jersey, which will be interesting. Boo.
Well,
Um,
it'll be said on Sitting and Chatting. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Fuck you as well, but good luck to you.
Love you too. But yeah, until next time, I suppose. I've been Liam Whyte.
I've been Jamie Allan.
I've been fucking pissed, man.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye. We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. We're two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.